President Erherman is absolutely right. So, what does he say? It is not something anyone can expect from two leaders who cannot even produce a solution on such a simple issue that would make daily life easier for both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots to produce a solution on the substance of the Cyprus problem. He is absolutely right. There is currently a strong perception as such in the public sphere. Erherman is aware of this. In this context, his meeting with Christodoulides directly, without a UN observer, towards the end of this month also bears risks. This will be a very serious test for both leaders. Unfortunately, their performance to date shows that they have not even managed to take minor joint decisions. This lack of political will also found reflection in the words of the UN Secretary-General's Special Representative Holgan. The experienced Colombian diplomat could not hide her jadedness. For example, she emphasized the futility of the leaders' fickle statements, saying, "Just exerting pressure and playing for time or blaming a third party serves no one." She had to say that time is needed for the leaders' ideas to mature. When she announced that there would be a lull until July due to the Greek Cypriot parliamentary elections in May and the EU presidency, that she would not be coming here, and that there would be no 5+1 meeting, the Greek Cypriot side was furious. On Sunday, Christodoulides described Holguin's comments on the Greek Cypriot elections as ridiculous, without naming names. He used the phrase absurd argument. He said that the Greek Cypriot side was ready to participate in an expanded meeting as early as next week. After this statement, it became even clearer how far apart Christodoulides and Erherman were swinging their swords in different arenas. The Greek Cypriot side seems to be focused on negotiations, while the Turkish Cypriot side seems to be focused on confidence-building measures. Christodoulides belittles the Turkish Cypriot side's preconditions, even ignoring them. In a new statement on Sunday, he said that the issue of political equality was closed with the written statement made at the previous meeting. Christodoulides also states that Erherman's 4 points no longer exist, as each has already been answered. In other words, he is ignoring Erherman's preconditions and pointing to the negotiating table saying, "Let's sit down and talk over there, test me." Does Christodoulides really want negotiations, or is he applying a pressure as such since he knows about Erherman's difficulties stemming from Ankara? The degree to which he is sincere about this issue is questionable. As long as Turkey's two-state policy remains in place, it seems that Christodoulides prefers to play within this field because he knows that it is impossible for Erherman to discuss a federal solution in negotiations under the given circumstances. In other words, he has opened up a new field for himself, which he believes to be strong, against the Turkish side's preconditions and Turkey's separatist policy. For this reason, he has distanced himself from the realm of confidence-building measures. In fact, at the last meeting on January 28th, Christodoulides proposed a 5-point roadmap and suggested convening a 5-party conference, where even the checkpoints to be opened would be announced. The Turkish side, on the other hand, grants understandable priority to the issue of openings. The opening of new checkpoints is actually a matter that was agreed upon between Christodoulides and Ersin Tatar last March in the presence of the UN Secretary-General. Secretary-General Guterres has clearly supported this, and even the Security Council has made an unambiguous statement of support on this issue. The Secretary-General's representative, Maria Angela Holgan, has also stated that if she had to choose one priority, it would be the opening of new checkpoints. The Turkish Cypriot side is taking a close stance with the UN on this issue. So is opening new checkpoints really that difficult? First, let's look at the positions of both parties. The Greek Cypriot side proposes 4 border crossings: Kokina, Miamilia, Lourougina, and Athianou. Erherman says, the Miamilia and Lourougina checkpoints are beneficial for both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. The Athianou Aglancia checkpoint would be more important for Greek Cypriots traveling from Larnaca to Nicosia. Yet, from our perspective, there is no problem. In line with the problems raised by Mr. Christodoulides to date regarding this crossing, we have made 4 separate constructive proposals, including the construction of a new road on our side, to address the problems raised. In other words, it appears that there is an agreement between the two sides on the locations of the other crossings, except for Kakina. In this case, the two leaders can announce that the crossings they agreed upon will be opened during their first meeting at the end of February without a UN observer. This would be a small step forward. In fact, since there are no problems regarding Mia Emilia and Lurugina, they can at least give the start for these 2 checkpoints. If that is not possible, they can work on a new proposal with a very simple arrangement at the Famagusta Gate in Nicosia. Honestly, I'm surprised they aren't talking about the Famagusta Gate. Since 70% of crossings are made through Nicosia and the congestion is here, then open the Famagusta Gate and save face. Let's see if they can manage that.